Hi, my name is Frank. Welcome to the Boundless Mind. Today, I want to talk to you about what exactly is an empath, but I'm taking a bit of a different approach. I want to cover the parts that are not talked about as much, I think. So here we go. What's an empath? Primarily, and this is what you'll hear everybody present you, an empath is somebody that has the ability to feel other people's emotions. It's also a person who is very highly sensitive. So we are sensitive to emotions, but also a lot of times sensitive to light, sensitive to hearing, sensitive to all our senses are heightened. Finally, an empath is somebody that has an excessively strong intuition. It's not always developed, but they have it. Often, those three things put together will cause us to have certain characteristics, if you will. Often, we'll have a dislike of crowds. We'll have boundary issues. Either we don't set boundaries or we don't enforce them. We'll often have trouble fitting in. We'll go into overwhelm. You know, things will happen. We'll feel a whole bunch of people's emotions. We'll freak out. And again, we start isolating, we start going on our own little world where we're safe. Because again, we can feel everything. We tend to do conflict avoidance. It also gives us a unique view on things. Having the ability to feel other people's emotions, we can sort of navigate the world a little differently. And something else that's important here is that we started young, feeling those emotions. And so what that means is by the time we were very young, we had already experienced a whole bunch of emotions that are usually adult emotions. And so this gives us a very different outlook on things. And so our unique view is actually often very, very beneficial. We also have an extreme love for others. Most empaths came from broken families, from situations of abuse. What this means is that we started wanting to show love to everybody because, well, we never received it. And often we're going to need to rest. We need to find ourselves alone, isolate, go in our own little corner and get back our strength. Now, speaking of strength, what is the strength of an empath? Typically, we're very excellent problem solvers, right? We're good at identifying deep issues, right? So if somebody's looking at their own life and they're sitting with an empath and they go, I don't know, maybe this is what's happening or whatever. An empath will have already seen from the first moments in conversation what's going on. And so they'll have the ability to address those issues. We have a very, very deep connection with nature. We just do. We also have a certain connection with the faith of humanity. Those are the types of issues that we tend to gravitate towards, possibly because of how we were raised, possibly because of what we've gone through, but also I think it partly is our mission on this planet to take the pulse of humanity and be able to help make course corrections. More important than anything else, empaths are healers. Here I'm going to come back to our intuition. And this is, for me, the most important part about being an empath, which is often overlooked, because this is where half the people watching my video right now are going to turn it off. Why? Because I'm going to also talk about empaths as being an energy being. Everything is energy. Quantum physics has gone, huge leaps into showing us that, indeed, everything is energy, and everything is tiny, tiny particles that vibrate with each other and that interact with each other. There's a lot of stuff going on at that level. We often dumb it down by saying we can feel other people's emotions, but it's a lot more than that. We can feel people on an energetic level. This is key. This is what allows us, for the most part, to see the interconnectivity of things. This is what allows us to see that there's a lot more than meets the eye. And so in some sense, say we feel the energy of source, right? We can perceive it. If I close my eyes, I can definitely tell you how it feels, which again is our intuition. I know right now if you're coming in and you're thinking you might be an empath, you're going, this means nothing to me, Frank. I'm going crazy. Like I'm suffering. I have no idea how to get rid of all this. I don't know where I'm going. Like, what do I do, right? So how do we transmute our suffering and turn it into our gift, into an energy that can do good for the world? I'm going to give you a laundry list of items here, and we will over time cover them in this channel. But for now, here's a laundry list. I propose you do meditation. Shadow work will be important as well. Now, the main idea here, because we are the being that we are, because we are that energy, because we channel emotions, it becomes excessively important for an empath to be a clear channel. If you're trying to get a channel on your TV and there's static everywhere, you know what? You're going to turn off the TV and go home. So we need to remove the static. What is the static? Well, part of the static is our traumas, right? And especially a lot of empaths, we don't lack any of them. We have a lot of abuses, a lot of crazy stuff going on in our life. Yeah, we need to look at it. We need to suffer it. But we'll cover some of those things in other videos. Boundaries. Boundaries are a huge issue for us. We feel everybody else. We don't even know who's us, who's not us, right? So it's very important to have strong boundaries. We'll cover that. Actually, I have a video already on that. Grounding. Like I said, we can go in overwhelm very easily, which means it's important for us to bring us back down to the earth energy, back down to the grounding energy. Shielding. Well, if we're gonna try to separate our emotions from those of others, maybe it would be a good thing to learn how to shield ourselves from those energies. Energy work. Reiki, any energy channeling system would be an asset for an empath. One, we excel at them. We're healers. Remember? They allow us to tap into the bigger picture. They allow us to tap into source, which is insanely, I don't know about you, but for me, that is a huge gift. Intuition development. Yeah, we have really strong intuitions. We also ignore them all the time. We need to learn to develop that intuition, learn to listen to it. It wasn't always like that, but I'll tell you, a lot of my day now goes by intuition, and that's about it. Our ability to love is our biggest strength. It's our key to source. It's our key to changing the world. We have an ability to change the world through love. I know I'm losing some people here, but that's okay. Stay with me. You'll see. Now, how do we develop this, right? Because number one, you need to develop self-love, right? You're not going to be a channel for source, for God, for the Most High, for whatever you want to call it. You're not going to be able to be a source for it unless you make yourself a proper channel, right? Well, here's some things that you can learn to develop and that will grow that self-love inside of you. And those are gratitude. You need to have gratitude. I have a book at home. It's my gratitude book. What do? I write things I'm grateful for every day in it. So have a gratitude book. Write things you're grateful for. What am I grateful for today? I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the beautiful weather I'm having that allows me to film. I'm grateful that I have a new friend that I'm going to be talking to tonight. I'm grateful for my children. It used to be that I had a problem coming up with 3. It's hard for me to sometimes identify with my old self that way because I have so much to be grateful for now. Not because the world has changed. Nothing's changed around me. Everything is the same. I changed. I allowed myself to be grateful for the things around me. I allowed myself to love those things. And that is key. Everyone you meet is a teacher. Every single person you meet is a reflection of yourself. I know when you say that, sometimes, people kind of go, what do you mean? It can't be that there's 8 billion reflections. Like what? I'm the center of the universe and everybody's a reflection of me. Woo, how does that work, right? We all go about this world, all 8 billion of us, and we perceive others through our experiences. Therefore, every single person we see, when they do something, the way we perceive it is based on who we are. And so as you change who you are, your perception also changes. You see where I'm going with this? You can change the universe in such a massive way by learning to understand yourself. I know, it sounds far-fetched, it sounds out there. It's true. That's something, I tell you. Now, everything is subjective. We experience the world, this world, through our 5 senses. 6, if you count intuition. Look, everything is subjective. Everything comes through your own filter. You don't have a choice. So learn what your filters are, how they affect reality, and then you're able to sort of go through it. You can look at the outside reality, right? They say, as above, so below, as without, so within, right? Those are important concepts. Those are not things you just throw out, right? There's a reason they've been kicking around for thousands of years. Maybe they're important. That is true. You can seek to understand the universe by looking at yourself. And you can seek to understand yourself by looking at the universe. It's incredible. The exchange of energy that happens between us and our environment, it's mind-boggling when you start perceiving it. So, yeah, those are things that are important. I'd like to bring about my perception of what is the role of empaths in today's world. I mean, I think we can all feel it, especially empaths. Something's going on, right? We have COVID, we have, I mean, the world is right now, the world is in a handbasket. Like, it's just, everything's going crazy, right? That's okay. That change is necessary. I don't know, maybe this is, you know, my prophecy. I don't know. Right now, the world is changing. It will never be what we know it, but it needs to be destroyed first. It's not going to be easy for a lot of people. Now, empaths, and this is where I think as a generational aspect, our suffering that we've gone through in life, most of us, is a tool. It is actually, we have developed a resilience, and when it hits the fan, when everybody starts suffering, we will be the ones with resilience. And so because we have that resilience, we're guides. We are the ones there to heal and guide humanity. I know, you're going like, I can barely take care of supper. How am I going to do that? We'll get there. We still have a few years, don't worry. It's not happening tomorrow morning. So we're key for this. We're key for the humanity. Right now, humanity, I don't know, so many of us can perceive it. I don't know if you can, but humanity is going through a massive, massive shift. People are awakening. We speak of the Great Awakening, and there's a reason for that. It's because those of us who feel energies, we can see it, we can feel it, we know it's happening. You come on the internet, we are hundreds of thousands of empaths in the same groups on Facebook, looking for each other, learning from each other, developing. We have never grown emotionally, spiritually, energetically, bear with me, and that is insane. Yeah, this Great Awakening is something else. Unfortunately, this will be accomplished through suffering. This is how humans grow right now, and because that's how we grow, because that's our mode of function, there's going to be a lot of crap happening, but it must. So it's okay. Enough of my little, you know, my little thing about the future there, because I mean, let's face it, I can't know for sure. It's just what I feel. But I think we're key. I think empaths are key in that change. And humanity will enter a new consciousness. We will enter a new mode of functioning. A new system will be developed. I believe it will be built around love. The new world will be love. Just, you'll see. We'll get on that on another video, because this is a heck of a topic. So empaths, we feel emotions, we feel energies. We are the healers of the world, and it is important for us to develop those skills. Now, another skill, and I kept this one a little bit for last, but another excessively important skill for empaths is learning to suffer, learning to watch people suffer, learning to us feel suffering and accept it for what it is. The thing is, suffering brings us lessons all the time. I mean, I have suffered a lot in my life. And I do harbor the belief that my suffering is what made me able to come here today and share these things with you, because I have implemented them in my own life. I'm not coming here and giving you, you know, air and going like, oh, this stuff, yeah, sure, here's, you know. No, I have worked with each and every one of the tools that I am proposing to you, and they work, every single one of them. And here's what I propose. I will give you these tools. I will work with you to make these tools work. I hesitated for a while, but I will reinstate my coaching. I don't know if I'm going to do one-on-one. I'm trying to maximize the reach I can have in helping as many people as possible, but I'm also realizing that you can watch as many videos as you want. Unless you're actually doing the work, it's not going to do anything. And so as a coach, I know that I have the ability to help people do the work. Because of that, I'm going to try to organize groups and you know, because in the end, I really, one, I can't give you the truth. I don't have it. You do. Yeah, your truth is inside you. And so I want to help you harvest it, but it is hard by video. I will give you lots of knowledge on video, but I will not be able to do the work with you. Where as a coach, yeah, you bet, we can work at this together. No, I'm not telling you have to. I'll continue making the videos and I will give you everything I can on those videos, for sure. My intention is not to get coaching clients. My intention is to help rise the world, rise our consciousness. I have gone from being a suffering kid. I went from as early as I can remember to after my teenage years and into my 20s thinking solely, like, I think half my time was spent thinking about killing myself. It was terrible. It wasn't fun. I ended up on the streets. I ended up doing drugs. I ended up in all kinds of places you don't want to be. But it's made me, so I'm okay with it. But it needs to be useful. What it has brought me is a feeling of love beyond anything that I have never... I could not in my life have imagined the feeling that I have now. Do I still hurt? I was crying like a baby this morning. Of course I do. Do I still have to deal with traumas? I have traumas that date from when I was 2 years old that I will carry with me for the rest of my life. And I think about them sometimes and I cry. And you know what? That's okay. I feel it now and it doesn't disturb me. It's not the same anymore. And this is what's important. I'm not telling you that you'll be able to remove all suffering. Many have tried. The Buddha is a really good example. The Buddha came to remove, you know, he left seeking to remove all suffering from human life. Like he wanted to figure out, how do we end suffering? And he came back and he said, oh my God, it's so simple. You end suffering by accepting it. Yeah, think about that. Listen again to me say, I'll say it again. You're suffering, you just have to accept it. You just have to go, okay, so life, we suffer. All right, what's next? Think of it as a bodily function, right? You eat, you poop, guess what? You live, you suffer. I know it. Isn't that ridiculous? I know, now you're going, yeah, but I suffer a lot. Yeah, you do. You know why? Because you have a lot of lessons to learn. And when you learn those lessons, you will have a massive amount of resilience and you will have learned a valuable lesson. And each and every single one of those lessons that I have ever learned is useful to me today. So don't give up, all right? If you think you're an empath, if you're here because, you know, you want to make sense of it, stick around. I'm going to try to give you some tools. If it's not me, look for somebody else that can do it. That, you know, look for anything you can, but know that you're okay. You're going to be fine. There's enough of us out there right now that want to help you. Know this. We love you. I truly love you and want to see you succeed. There's nothing I would love more. There's nothing that is more beautiful than to watch an empath get into their own power. It is an amazing thing. Start having boundaries and be able to go out in the world and not feel like they're gonna be crushed under a sea of insanity. That is what I want to help you attain. Now, I can't do it for you. You will do the work, but I will help you. And I will try to hold your hand through it. I will try to give you what I can to help. But you are beautiful. You are strong. And most of all, you are loved. Source has been with you the whole time. Source will be with you the rest of your time here. Source is you. You will rejoin Source one day. You are Source. Believe me, one day you could feel this. And that day, you'll know that everything I was saying here was true. that it was possible for you to feel endless love. On this, I want to wish you the most wonderful day. Please come back. Please continue on your journey. You deserve it, and the world deserves you. Have a good day. I love you. Namaste.